Hi everybody. How are y'all doing today? I'm Lorina Quigley. I'm a psychic medium, spiritual guide, teacher, and you're a mystical ex-Mormon. Have to say that. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about clairaudience because it is a wonderful clair to develop and to have. And clairaudience is clear hearing. The information that I'm getting is coming in through sound, through vibration, through frequency, through actual voices, messages. It's pretty cool. There are things that we can do to increase this. And so I brought a bunch of rocks here because these are good for clairaudience, for helping increase that. I have a lot of rocks, so I don't mind sharing my rock collection. Anyway, what would you do if you want to be more clairaudient? Well, I'm here to tell you. First of all, I want to say that the clairaudience, the chakra for clairaudience is your throat chakra, but it is also your third eye. It's kind of like there's a combination thing happening there. Yeah, but a lot of it is in the area, the domain of the throat chakra, and that is blue. So you want blue stones. Blue stones are going to help with communication, connecting with spirit through clairaudience, and also receiving messages for writing, for channeling, if you speak those out, if you speak that information out. And also writing it's throat chakra, but your third eye is very involved with this too. So what does that look like? So there are subjective and objective. So subjective is the information is coming from within. Subjective, it's inside of my head, maybe perhaps even inside, coming through my ears, I am hearing messages. So that could be a song, a sound, birds are a big one, animals, what else? Birds, animals, frequency, vibration. Sometimes people who are very clairaudient are very attuned to frequency and vibration, because frequency and vibration is sound, but we also feel that. So it's kind of both your clairsentience and your clairaudience. And when you have subjective clairaudience, whose voice is it? Is it a relative? Is it your guide? Is it someone else? Does it sound like your voice? Does it sound like someone else's voice? These are things to ask yourself. One of the confusing things about clairaudience is when you are clairaudient and you hear information, it may come in your voice. You hear your voice. That's the confusing part. Is that a message, or is that my imagination and I'm making that up because it sounds like me? And with just work, practice, you will be able to figure out what that is. Yeah, and that's just practice. That really is practicing and really learning to trust when you're attuned and the information is coming through. Also, there's objective clairvoyance, and clairaudience. And that's when you hear from outside of your physical body, like you hear a voice say something to you. And it's happened to me, and it's very loud and clear in male voices. I have a guide who speaks to me on occasion. There's something, so it's usually bigger messages that I really need to pay attention to. It will be sometimes booming, like Lorina, they don't usually say my name, like don't be afraid to ask for what you want, or let's see, one of this, maybe you should go be a hairdresser again. These are some of the messages that I've received outside of my body, like in my head area, from a male voice. Now, these male voices have never told me anything harmful. That's always like really good advice and information. So I trust it. But the point is that that is objective clairaudience. You hear somebody telling you something, some type of information. But it can also be, again, music, sound, animals. It could be a song that's suddenly playing on the radio that is a message for you specifically around something, some issue that's going on. So these are all ways of receiving information through clairaudience. All right, so next thing, so rocks. We're going to talk about rocks now. Any blue rock is going to help amplify these abilities. So I have a whole bunch of rocks right here. So this is one of my this is Claire. Oh my God, that's stuck in my head. This is celestite. This is a nice big chunk of celestite. Ooh, I've had this for years. Got it about 5 years ago or something at the gym show. That is good for clairaudience. So what you can do is just have it next to you. You can hold on to it. You can put it in your lap. This one is also really good for connecting with the angelic realm. All celestite helps you connect with the angelic realm. So you want to perhaps channel the angels, receiving information, hearing their messages, and transcribing them. Celestite. Very powerful stone. One of my favorites. All right, aquamarine. Aquamarine, yay. Kyanite. Kyanite. I have a kyanite bracelet on here. I have a kyanite bracelet with Herkimer diamonds. Apatite. Apatite is really, really good too. Chalcedony. This is chalcedony. Gorgeous chalcedony. Labradorite. I have a big chunk of labradorite right here. I don't know, can you see that? Ooh, look at that flash on that labradorite. Yay. A lot of, it's a mystical stone. This helps with all the clairs, but it's a really good one for clairaudience. A lot of jewelry makers love labradorite. It's quite interesting, but it's beautiful. And it is a stone of the mystic. So regular quartz, regular crystal quartz. It's an amplifier. What else do we have? Oh, blue topaz, turquoise, lapis lazuli, labradorite, aquamarine. Did I say that already? Iolite, blue sapphires, blue tourmalines, which is a little more rare, blue tourmalines. Herkimer diamonds. Oh, this is a huge Herkimer diamond. It's yeah, if you can see that, it's a really nice one. Herkimer diamonds, really good for communication, higher realms. Yeah, we love those. And again, regular crystals. So what you would do is just hold them, and actually connect with the stone and ask them to help you with messages through, and be specific, through, you want to hear or develop your clairaudience. Ask that rock to help you. It's that simple. All right. Also, and there are some essential oils that can help. Essential oils are very, very powerful. Use essential oils. I'm just going to name a few. I bet you know about some of these, I'm sure of it. So there's frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood. Those are the combination of the 3 Christ oils. Put those together. It helps with all of your clairs, but it helps with clairaudience. Cedarwood, jasmine, absolutely wonderful smell. Mugwort, I say that every time. Use mugwort. You know why I use mugwort? It also helps bring in spirits and connects you, opens up your abilities. You want to be careful with how much mugwort you use, because mugwort is very powerful. It goes across the blood-brain barrier if you use it in essential oil form. So you could just smell it, and that would be enough. Nutmeg, again, be careful how much nutmeg you use. Again, it goes through the blood-brain barrier. So you want to be careful. Rose oil, super high vibe. Can't go wrong with rose oil. Love rose oil. And gardenia. I brought this to class before. Can you guys see that? I don't know. Gardenia, very powerful, very strong essential oil, and beautiful. It also brings in spirits. It helps open up your clairaudience. So those are just some oils, and you can just smell them. You don't have to put them on your body if you don't want to. You do need to be careful with essential oils if you don't know what you're doing with them, because you can use too much. But they're amazing to use, and they do work. They work with the limbic system, so they do open you up. Oh. All right. Now, how can I become more clairaudient in a way that is just through sitting and asking for it? Yes, you can. First of all, meditate. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Okay. And you can also do sitting in the power, which is very similar to meditation, but it's not quite the same. But what you're doing is you're sitting still and just being where you are. And we really need more of that these days. It's a really good thing. Listen. Listen. Learn to listen. This is probably the number one thing on the list besides meditation or sitting in the power. Learn to listen. We live in a society where everybody's running around, talking. Nobody's listening. Learn to listen. In fact, quite often, especially in social media, like the housewife shows, you can really see it's a great example there, because that's kind of live in action, even though some of that is quite forced and kind of fake. But you can see that people aren't really listening. They're waiting to respond. They're only listening to get to the point where they can respond. Okay, this is something that we all need to learn how to be better at, is just listen. Just hear and listen. Stop. So when you meditate, you're taking a few moments to actually just stop, be open. It's kind of a passive receptivity that happens when you bring in information. This is what is needed. So you are stopping and just listening. So practice just listening. And what you can do is, and we do this in my class a lot, and I learned this from from one of my teachers, is you have the person say their name 3 times, first and last name, and listen to the vibration of the words as they say their name. There's a lot of information in just how they say their name. And again, it's listening to the frequency, the vibration, the tones, the strength, take it in and listen. And what does their voice tell you as you listen to them? So you're learning to listen. So you're learning how to observe through hearing. So listen to the words, listen to the vibes, listen to the frequency. So one way to practice doing that is listening to classical music. Now it's good to just sit, breathe, listen to classical music that you have not heard before, so that it is fresh. Because when we listen to music that we know every note, we know the emotional impact that it will have on our body and our emotions as we listen to it. No, we just want to hear for the first time some beautiful music. So try and find classical music that you have not heard. Stop, take a couple of deep breaths, and just listen. Just listen. It's really simple. It will help open up your hearing capacity, it will go to a new level. Also, what you can do is just go outside and listen to nature. Go outside, listen to the waves. If you live by the beach, just listen to those ocean waves. Listen to the palm trees with the wind, with how the wind moves those palm trees and the sound that it makes as that happens. Listen to the leaves as the wind is blowing through the leaves. Listen to those beautiful, subtle sounds of nature, because that also brings peace. But it takes you to a level where you can hear without thinking, without responding. And this is what is needed. Okay. Do breath work. Do breath work. Again, I'm going to say do breath work. There is a breathing technique that you can learn, or that you can do. This is really easy. You don't have to learn it. Just sit down, listen to yourself breathing in and out, in and out. And as you slow down and you're breathing in and out, really, truly listening to your breath. So the objective is to really to really listen to yourself breathing. And as you continue to listen to yourself breathing, try to breathe so quietly that you cannot hear yourself breathing. And what happens as you do this, it takes you to a level of awareness that we usually don't sit in, because you're really not doing anything. You're just trying to listen. This really works. So practice that. See if it works. And there's one really great little exercise that you can do that will help with your clairaudience, is ask your guides or your higher self, as you sit in meditation, ask to hear the sound or the frequency and vibration of your soul. This is really quite beautiful. Say, higher self, help me to hear the sound of my soul. What is the sound or song or vibration of my soul? And help me to hear that. Help me to tune into that now. And as you do this, just breathe in and out, quietly breathing, and see what happens. At some point, what will start happening is you will move into a place of just frequency and vibration, and you may hear actual singing. I have done this before and I've heard angelic voices. I mean, just stunningly beautiful angelic voices. So try that. See what happens. I want to hear about it. If you do that, please tell me about it. Write it in the comments. Anyway, it's really learning to listen and taking the time to do that, and it will help turn on your abilities. Using rocks, wearing the jewelry can help you with that. Anyway, it's really cool. You can do this. And also, I just want to say one more thing about that. Usually information doesn't come in just one way. It comes in all different ways. So, but ask for that specifically. But you may hear, see, feel, know as you are hearing more information. And that's the idea. You really want, at some point, they will start combining. But because usually you have more than just one. And people who are clairaudient, if they get direct information through voice, it's actually a little bit clearer than, say, if you receive symbols a lot, because then you have to try and understand the symbols. Or if you have a feeling, but you're not quite sure of the feeling, but there's information in it, so you're trying to decipher it. Usually with clairaudience, it's a little more clear because it's more direct information. If you get clairaudience in voice, as in talking. So anyway, so if you're one of the lucky ones who have that, then yay for you. I had a friend who had that, and she has since passed over, but she was really good at clairaudience. And it's easier to trust that information. Anyway, but so it's worth developing because there's a little less confusion. And like I said, the biggest confusion with clairaudience is like, wait a minute, is that me because it sounds like me? Or is that a message? Am I imagining that? Or is that real information that I'm hearing that is coming through that I need to give to someone else? Or perhaps need to write down? And you can use that for inspired information if you're a writer or a channeler. All of these things will help with that. Anyway, I think that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. Have a really great day. Let me know if any of these things work for you. And please like, share, and subscribe. And anyway, that's it. Have a great day, everybody.